And that is why, if this is what we think it is, we have to move on. I mean, we need to understand what has brought technology to this point and when, and how exactly it got there.
With all due respect,
I know what you want to say.
But I don't.
this is the problem that we will encounter on the level of something like the impending dangers of nanotechnology.
This is every bit as evasive as that. I mean, because allowed to propagate of his own will.
Its own will?
I mean, a technological advance of this magnitude will most certainly lead to problems with all other technologies, because those technologies will be controlled by this one. An overall step forward.
Professor.
I mean, machines will beget machines. Ideas for advancing the world, not just humanity, will be in the hands of some machines that are operating autonomously from humans.
Professor.
We will all be controlled by the very thing that we created, and we will ultimately be destroyed by the very thing that we thought would make our lives better.
Finished, Professor? Now, gentlemen, with all due respect, I don't care about the larger issue of what either of you think this technology will beget, or what it will become, or how it will lead to our ultimate destruction. I only care, and this is the reason why I called you here, is to find out how, if possible, we can get this thing out of my server so that I can get the factory up and running again. What I need to know is which of your theories will only shut my factory down for a few minutes.
The only way we can do this without basically shutting down the entire technological grid that human beings rely on.
Professor, please.
I've set up a separate server in the room. We'll just transfer the data.
Didn't we have trouble with the server that we had before?
We have to disable the safety features. We have to.
You do know that this server backs up every plant in the entire company? So what happens to the server?
Nothing. We'll share the software with the new machine. We control it, study it, all while not disrupting the plant for more than a few minutes during the transfer.
I cannot afford to lose any of the information in those servers. Is there a possibility that I will lose the information in those servers?
Well, in theory.
Theory?
In theory, it will work perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
There are, of course, always unseen variables.
You have 5 minutes, Professor. And then you have access to the whole room. Study the server as long as you want, as long as you don't interfere with anything Steve has to do. 5 minutes.
All I'll need is 90 seconds.
Something you want to say, Professor? Ask you a question.
Of course.
What do you think's going on in that server room? I would have asked your colleague before, but I think I have a pretty good idea what he would have said.
Well, quite honestly, I don't know. I mean, we have an idea of what we want it to be, but it will start out like this. A simple line of code. A line of code that no one put there. A line of code that no one will understand how it got there.
So what does that mean to you?
Everything. Nothing.
Science fascinates me. The power to discover, find new things, the way we can change the way we see things. Beats looking out over this factory every day.
Well, it isn't all discoveries and earth-shattering understandings. And there are never any parties at the Playboy Mansion, so as far as jobs go.
Thank you, Professor. I just can't shut the plant down for something that might not even exist. I'm sorry.
I hope there are no hard feelings.
Isn't there work to do?
I don't believe I understand.
Understand? I don't think you'd be here if you didn't understand. Make no mistake. The idea of the technological singularity exists. It's real, and it exists.